Welcome back. You got Will and I Man here from the Block Runner MetaZone, Rovi, and MScribe, and today we bring you Satoshi. He's back.
He's alive, dude, just like Johnny Five. Right?
You just watched that, didn't you?
Yeah, it's still stuck in my head. So
Nice. Best movie, dude.
I guess so, dude. But
If you know what we're talking about, let us know in the comment section below.
yeah, Johnny Five, dude. Give us a nice little Johnny Five is alive
Like
because
a robot icon emoji.
Because apparently Satoshi's living again, living and breathing on Earth because of a Twitter account made in 2018. Definitely foolproof evidence of Satoshi's existence, right?
Only 9 years later, he creates a Twitter account.
I mean, maybe he's just not that social. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's just a little late to the Twitter game. But nonetheless, this whole thing is captivating the space. Everybody's talking about this tweet from a Twitter account at Satoshi, literally.
Yeah, when we saw this, when I saw this tweet, it was like 800,000 views. Now it's at 1.8 million.
Yeah, this is going viral quick. So, I mean, if you don't know who Satoshi Nakamoto is, it is the founder or founding organization, who knows?
Yeah.
Of Bitcoin.
Correct.
And
I feel like everybody should know that. If you don't know that, let us know in the comment section below as well.
Yeah, so at some point in 2009, 2010, whatever, some group or person, was it 2009 or 2008?
2009.
Yeah, white paper was released. A technology called Bitcoin and blockchain, I guess, was released, and
got faded by everybody.
Correct. And there were some core group of believers in the early days who adopted this and supported that network. And here we are, however many years later, everybody thinks it's, the bee's knees.
Yeah, the second coming.
Right. So, but nobody knows who actually did all that.
Yeah.
Right? The theory is either that person is dead. And then there's a segment of humanity who believes maybe it's Craig Wright because he's out there telling the world that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why? Because he had early ties to that. Construction of that.
And so all this, the reason why we're talking about this is because of this single tweet that spawned a whole kind of like a research paper from us, like trying to figure out what the hell is happening.
Yeah, is this Satoshi? I mean, I think at a quick glance, we knew right away this is obviously not Satoshi.
Yeah, and we talked about Craig Wright in the past before, maybe like 2 or 3 years ago, and he was being sued by this thing called COPA, which is like an organization designed to protect open source like technology and stuff.
Correct.
Which is interesting in itself.
Yeah, and then we largely when we saw the BSV network, emerge, and like a group of people, I guess, gravitating towards that potential narrative of Satoshi is alive and he envisions Bitcoin to be something much greater than what it is. So let's align with that ecosystem and develop over there, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And guess what? Now we're deeply involved in this Ordinals space, building on Bitcoin movement, and a lot of these big core developers who have built, high value applications or whatever, they come from the BSV ecosystem.
Yeah.
So we figure, it's a pretty good idea just to kind of like refamiliarize ourselves with, the teachings of Craig Wright and see what's going on out there.
All right, so let's take a look at this tweet. So Bitcoin is a predicate machine, he says.
I know already I was lost. Yeah. I think everybody got lost in that first sentence.
Yeah. Over the following months, we shall explore different aspects that were not explicitly contained within the white paper. These aspects are all part of Bitcoin and are important. Some of these ideas were touched upon in the early years. Now is the time to extrapolate and explain.
Why now, dude? That's the killer question. Now of all times, right? And that's what's getting people speculating, right? Is it because Ordinals?
Right.
Is it because... I mean, really, that could be the only other thing.
Well, I think someone suggests something otherwise, right?
Well, yeah. At first instinct is like, there's a lot happening on Bitcoin more than just, peer-to-peer cash, right?
Yeah.
A transfer of value. It's a mechanism. Now it's like, if you look up what predicate machine is, there's a definition to it. It's like a kind of like a computational system, right?
Right, right. So let's take a look at this Twitter account first.
Yeah.
So it joined 2018, May 2018, 35,000 followers, 0 following.
Damn, that follower count's exploding quick. Yeah, it was like 28,000 earlier.
So 3 hours ago, he makes this tweet. But if you look at the previous tweets, it all came on the same day, October 31st, 2018. Every single tweet. And there's only about 148 of them. And it says Bitcoin, a peer-to-peer electronic cash system, Satoshi. That was the last tweet of like this, I don't know, it felt like a gigantic thread.
It didn't get nearly as much like attention either.
Yeah.
Like at all, really.
Yeah, it was a single tweet thread all in one day, and that was it until the tweet earlier today.
It's basically like, yeah, the white paper in Twitter format, right?
Yeah.
That's what this is. So obviously didn't really hold much relevancy, I guess, back then. There's way more crazier things happening, but for whatever reason, what's happening now is perfect timing for the name Satoshi Nakamoto, I guess, to like, ruffle up some feathers.
Mm-hmm.
And some people are out and about and claiming, they know exactly who is behind this and why. So just in case for people who are panicking and wondering, like, what's the probability of this being actually Satoshi? I think it's worthy of diminishing those concerns.
He's got quite the handle.
That's correct. I mean, Twitter handles,
that's
pretty hard to acquire, right?
Yeah. All right, so let's see what this guy says. So this guy, Kristen Ager Hansen, he says, isn't it a coincidence the Satoshi account is used during this time when I expose Craig? That account has been taken over by Craig. The previous owner is a Craig Wright fanboy.
Andy Rowe.
Andy Rowe. Don't be fooled.
And here's his receipt, dude.
I curate codes from Satoshi Nakamoto. Interesting.
At Satoshi. So somebody's already claimed, I guess, like association to this account back in 2018, right? So
yeah, July 2018.
Yeah, so I think there is like a coincidence there, and I don't know, maybe because of whatever this internal happenings in the BSV community.
Yeah,
I guess like things are starting to really disrupt over there. It's spilling into everything else, right?
Yeah. So I'm gonna follow all these guys because something weird is happening. Right? It's weird.
Of course, this is weird. This is very weird.
All right. So on predicates. So this is an article written by Craig Wright, 21st of December 2018. So same year.
Mm-hmm.
He's talking about predicates, and so the traditional definition of predicate is the common law. Many individual fact-based decisions are set on predicates. So it gives you examples: subject, predicate, subject, predicate.
Mm-hmm.
And so here's that article, kind of like basically explaining the different. I don't know. This is weird. So basically, he wrote this article in 2018, and then all of a sudden, this tweet happens, and so the suggestion is that this is Craig Wright writing it.
Yeah, because I don't think many people have ever like referred to Bitcoin as such.
Yeah.
Right, but there is a direct correlation. Craig Wright has done this in the past, so most likely he's influencing this tweet, right? So what does this all mean? I mean, we can go down this list of people doing their own due diligence investigation and like trying to definitively prove. Craig Wright is doing some weird kind of like a social manipulation game right now, trying to get the masses. I don't know, like how you can dissect that specific tweet. Even if he has like a pending court case that seems to be he's on his way to full on destruction with it. What is the purpose of coming out under this specific account and trying to
well, what's the point of this?
Make this statement.
Over the following months, we shall explore different aspects that were not explicitly contained within the white paper. What's the point of that?
Well, it depends on like what that actually means, but it makes the most sense in context of predicate machine. It's got to be in line with what it is we've already like uncovered in this, ordinals space, and now moving beyond that is Bitcoin is obviously just more utility to be unlocked here.
For sure, but I don't think Satoshi, even if Craig is Satoshi, I don't think he predicted like more could be done, right? Otherwise, he would have done it and written about it.
Well, apparently he's been trying to do that, dude, with BSV. What do you mean? He's got a whole community of developers trying to build, more function and utility, but not necessarily on Bitcoin, right? That's the reason what this fork happened, right?
Yeah, so then we found a tweet here by Martin Shkreli. He's the guy who...
Pharma bro, dude.
Yeah, the Pharma bro guy.
Yeah, locked
went
up
to jail for
5 years.
5 years, yeah.
It's definitely the guy you want to, like,
listen to, right?
reference for all, like, truths,
Yeah, so he does his own research here. The single time the term predicate machine has ever been used in the literature was in 1984, called the predicate machine.
Yeah, so this is clearly just like not a very commonly referred to
term
or concept. And applying it directly to Bitcoin only been done as far as we could tell by Craig Wright in the past. So
Yeah.
it's starting to align here. Like, this is definitely not Satoshi awakening. Sorry for the clickbait title.
Yeah.
Satoshi
He's still sleeping.
well resting, wherever the hell he is, she.
Yeah. They.
So yeah, there's really nothing to be alarmed about when it comes to this, but still, it is interesting just to have this discussion overall, and it's a good segue again to investigate what's going on the BSV side of things.
Yeah, I haven't done the deepest of research on Craig Wright, but what I have done, there is a lot of evidence to suggest that he was very closely involved in Bitcoin in the super early days, like 2008, 2009.
Correct. But, I mean...
That doesn't mean he's Satoshi, but
right.
It could.
But people have called him out, like, directly, and Vitalik included and stuff. Like, there's a simple way to validate his claims, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Which is,
signing the transaction with a private key that holds 1 million Bitcoin.
Yeah, exactly. So... I don't know. I mean, this whole thing has been like a story, a narrative that's been playing out ever since we even like got involved in this space. Like, we've been hearing about this back in 2018,
Yeah. And we have another tweet here that kind of outlines a little bit of the drama. It's pretty long.
Very long, actually.
Yeah. So Zem Gao kind of goes in depth at the explanation. He talks about Calvin, Stefan, and Craig. Mm-hmm. And basically, to summarize this whole thing, basically he says that Calvin and Stefan, who were backing Craig, are no longer backing Craig.
For potential unknown, I guess, reasons, right?
Yeah. Unknown reasons, yeah.
Yeah, this drama goes a little too far beyond our scope of, like... We're just
interest trying to, and, like...
Yeah. All I'm really trying to understand is the motivations behind, again, leveraging this entity of Satoshi to put out this very specific messaging, right? That has nothing really to do with like the internal drama happenings between like these three men, where their companies are failing, and Craig Wright's narrative is on the verge of collapsing, because there's definitive proof that he can't uphold his his own story, and he's being sued because of that. So I don't know. Well, why is this like permeating so vigorously?
I think it's the Twitter account. I think that's just the name, the handle, like has so much like allure.
And I think it's the ethos behind the idea of Bitcoin is
something like more than what it is.
Yeah, it is in this like I said, the timing is just right to kind of like do something like this, because there already is like a transition happening, a transition moment, right? Where Bitcoin, there's enough of a core community who sees the same thing that I guess what's being pushed out here.
Yeah, and I guess this tweet, I guess Bitcoin is a predicate machine. So this person is referring to the original Bitcoin, or is he referring to Bitcoin Satoshi vision?
No, there's no mention of Satoshi vision here, dude.
Yeah, but
it's Bitcoin singular.
Right, but Craig Wright, if he's Satoshi, why would he do Bitcoin Satoshi vision? So I'm thinking if this is Craig, when he says Bitcoin, I think he means Bitcoin Satoshi.
There's no
vision.
way,
the true Bitcoin.
I mean, maybe, but so you think this Satoshi Nakamoto account is going to come out like next week? Is like unveiling his the what is it right here? The new ideas that need to be extrapolated and explained. It's like
I got it. It's like Ordinals.
No, it's gonna be all BSV stuff, right?
Well, Ordinals on BSV,
something like that. If it ends up being that, then that would be the ultimate exposure. It's like, obviously this is just like one big PR stunt, right?
Right. All right, and then so I think this is what we talked about in the past. So this Square-led Copa sues Craig Wright over Bitcoin white paper copyright claims. Yeah. So here is Craig Wright claiming pretty clearly that he's Satoshi. And I guess the Cryptocurrency Open Patent Alliance has a problem with that claim. And so they are suing him. And for the most part, there's been some challenges, and he's been able to fail all those challenges.
Yeah, and BitMEX has put out like a whole like thesis around what's going on, and pretty much it's imminent where Craig Wright is going to be publicly exposed to not being able to uphold all this based on these mock practice trials.
Yeah. So basically, Edgar Hansen said that he no longer supports Craig Wright due to Satoshi's performance in a mock practice trial last week for the Copa case. So basically, Craig Wright sat there in a mock trial, got asked some questions, and completely bombed it.
Yeah, so much to the point, like his own personal, I guess, like henchman.
Yeah, his
deepest
like followers,
his deepest, rooters, or what do you call them? Like
fans,
whatever you want to call them. They're stepping away, and they're pivoting in their beliefs. It's like, you know what, this guy probably is a scammer.
Yeah, I wonder what happened. I'm curious.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I feel like it's pretty straightforward. I mean, just sign that Bitcoin transaction, and
yeah,
it's easy.
Pretty much. So yeah, I mean that's pretty much. So this N-Chain is like, I guess, some sort of like spin-off company that the man who's making all these claims now was formerly the CEO of, and I think stepped down as a result of all this. So again, the drama is too deep and too fucking non-ordinals related, really, for us to like go that deep into.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, again, we've been wanting to kind of like investigate BSV because we've already interviewed several people who are founding Ordinals projects.
Several.
And we're going to interview more in the near future.
It's like almost half.
Something like that. And if you want to know why, like especially certain devs in this space who can cook so quickly, like whenever like something new by Casey gets released, and then like these devs, I'm not gonna name names or anything like that.
Yeah, but they're quick on the trigger.
They're like within a day or two, they know how to implement. It's because they have years of experience with the UTXO and PSPT models and stuff.
While
like
we're
that.
over here is like trying to figure out what an OP return is.
Exactly. Yeah. All these guys, a lot of these developers have used these internal Bitcoin mechanisms.
Yeah.
Not specifically on Bitcoin itself, but they forked Bitcoin technology and they've created whole new applications from it. Right?
Yeah.
So now it's like this whole thing is getting redeployed back onto Bitcoin.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, we could do this. We've been doing this.
This is like, elementary cryptocurrency.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, seeing that speed development come from BSV now all of a sudden on Bitcoin, it makes sense. And this tweet, it's definitely cryptic. I mean, it's still growing, dude. It was at 1.8 a few minutes ago.
Really?
Yeah.
Holy Toledo's, dude. Haven't said that in a while. But yeah, dude, I mean, I don't know. There's really nothing else to say here other than this Bitcoin shit. Maybe this is like indication enough for me that like, dude, this whole narrative of like Bitcoin is just transforming into something entirely new and different. Like maybe this is like the beginning of like seeing that narrative actually come to fruition and like having that virality potential, right?
Yeah.
It's going to capture everyone's attention and imagination. Like, hold on a second. Bitcoin is a predicate machine. What do you mean? I thought Bitcoin was like digital gold.
Right.
You got people out here starting to, explain to the masses, like there's more behind Bitcoin than we originally thought,
Yeah. So I guess that means that Ethereum is done then, right?
I mean, not necessarily. No. But I don't think Ethereum can come and like say these things because it's already been stated. Everyone's well aware of Ethereum and its its potential and its capabilities as being a computational ecosystem,
world computer.
There you go. That's already like an exhausted narrative for ETH. Now it's like, all right, solve our banking crisis, you ETH developers, stuff like that. Right. Like they have a much bigger task, but Bitcoin is literally like a whole pivot in the narrative,
Sure.
And it's new and it's fresh.
All right. Well, if you guys believe Craig Wright is Satoshi, let us know in the comment section below, and let us know if we miss anything. There's definitely a lot of depth here that I don't know if we can really make sense of it all.
Yeah, and if we want to know like the depths of the BSV like lore, who should we reach out to? Because there's definitely a close alignment in like what's happening in BSV and what's happening on Ordinals and this whole like building a Bitcoin space, so it's interesting. I think at some point, some kind of like documentary or something will be made about this.
All right, please like and subscribe as always, and that's it for us. Appreciate you, and we'll catch you in the next video.
Peace.